Hello, come in. Hi, good to see you. I've got this really nice Peterson professor going. It's a professor in the series. Now, let me show you something. A while back, I had to send off for it. You know, you can't buy it in bookshops, but I acquired, they've got it on the stand here, this absolutely beautiful, look, this is a Peterson Sherlock Holmes series. Do you remember I was reading you a Sherlock Holmes story the other day, and when he said it was a real three-pipe problem, and I was thinking I could write a three-pipe poem, which I have done. Anyway, this book, here it is, the Peterson Pipe, Story of Captain Peterson, Mark Owen and Gary Melnberg. It's beautifully produced, and it's got, there's a Peterson thinking man, it's got illustrations of all the different pipes they make. It's got all the old ads for them back in the day, and wonderful historic material, and interviews with all the different people in the company. It's wonderful. Look at this. I mean, this pipe manufacturer's been going that's from an 1896 catalogue, Cap and Peterson. I first heard of Peterson pipes when I was a sixth former, and I was reading Samuel Beckett's play, Waiting for Godot, which I became really obsessed with and I loved as a play. And there's a character in it called Pozzo who has a cap and Peterson, and then he loses it in the second act and he can't find it. And as an undergraduate at university, I was in that play, and I'd bought a cap and Peterson when I was in Ireland before I went up to Cambridge, actually recognising the name from the Samuel Beckett. And then when I was in the play, they needed a pipe as a prop, and I was able to lend the character Pozzo the very pipe that I'd bought, which I still have on the shelf over there. It's yeah, that's the actual one I bought back in '77 and took round Ireland. Anyway, so that's fun. But come and have a seat, because I want to. No, I've just put down. I had another poetry book out, but I can't find it. Anyway, so we're into our third lockdown now, well into it, and it's another kind of imposed solitude, except for the happy moments when you pop round and we can chat. And I'm once more thrown back on my own resources and the resources of this room and the wonderful chance, at least, that I have for company and fellowship from the poets. So recently I've been just having a few sessions where I completely mellow out. I get a lovely trusty old pipe. I get it going. I pull a book of poetry off the shelf. And recently I've been reading through the poems in this book, which is the very copy of the Oxford Book of English Verse, which my grandfather gave my mother on her 8th birthday. And it's very precious because it was the last year of his life. There's my mother's name, full name, Janetta Inglis Keith Murray, but she was always called Sheena. To Sheena on her 8th birthday, with much love from Daddy and Mummy, 15/12/26. So, about 95 years ago. Anyway, I was reading in this a poem my mother often used to quote, which is about being alone, and how you can be enriched by that, as well as, you know, it may be difficult, but it's also enriching. And it's by Andrew Marvell, and it's Thoughts in a Garden. And it starts with this idea that maybe we were a bit crazy to run around the world all the time and try and win everything. It begins, how vainly men themselves amaze to win the palm, the oak or bays, in their incessant labours, see, crowned from some single herb or tree, whose short and narrow verged shade does prudently their toils upbraid, while all the flowers and trees do close and weave the garlands of repose. It's wonderful. Do you hear that lovely short 4-stress metre? It's beautiful. So, and then he says, oh, your As sacred plants, if here below, only among the plants will grow, society is all but rude to this delicious solitude. And then it has this lovely idea that your mind itself can contain a garden and founts of happiness. Meanwhile, the mind from pleasure-less withdraws into its happiness. The mind, that ocean where each kind does straight its own resemblance find, yet it creates, transcending these, far other worlds and other seas, annihilating all that's made to a green thought in a green shade. So that's a lovely poem. And I was reading that poem and smoking this pipe. And a poem came to me. I was also remembering that idea of the three-pipe poem. So although I've written a poem about blowing smoke rings from my pipe, I don't think I've ever written directly a kind of ode to my Peterson. And now I've done it. So this is called a three-pipe poem. And you'll see I've picked up a little bit on Andrew Marvell's meter there. And so my solitude resumes. I settle down to light my pipe and fill the air with fragrant fumes and muse awhile, till I am ripe with mellowed verse and empty time is ready to be filled with rhyme. Ranged on my shelves in patient print, old poets keep me company. One phrase of theirs might be the hint that prompts for some new harmony. Their echoes in my mind repeat, and their old meters keep the beat. For in my mind their minstrelsy is somehow kindled and renewed, as Andrew Marvell stands with me in my delicious solitude. I smoke a pipe with Tennyson, as Larkin nods to Betjeman. Their echoes in my mind repeat, their cadences still fill my soul, and call me to capture, to complete, to make my broken verses whole, to draw their courses where they run, and mould the many into one. So, help me, my old Peterson, and let your incense still inspire. Smoke sweetly till my task is done, your bowl aglow with friendly fire, until I bring, in true repose, my three-pipe poem to a close. Anyway, I thought you might enjoy that. Good of you to drop round. Cheers.